friends, Max with High Camp. I thought I'd make a little video and make it an open tag for anybody that wants to go ahead and do it. And this is simply a little video on gear that I no longer use, but I still have because I just can't seem to part with it. And, well, I don't know why, but I'll start off with some camera gear I no longer use. And this first item is because of my new camera. It has a gimbal built into it. I don't use this monster anymore. This is a fairly expensive piece of gear, too. You're talking $400 right here. It's the Moza Aircross. I hardly use it anymore unless I use a camera that I hardly use anymore, which is the Sony, the HDR Sx 440. I do use this occasionally, but not very often. And this one does 1080p, but the next one I'm going to show you, this is an old standard definition Sony. It's a Sony Dcr Sx 44. And the best this thing can do is 720. That's it. I do not even use this anymore, but I still have it. I don't know why. And then camera bags. I probably have a half a dozen different camera bags I don't even use anymore. Here's another one. Samsonite. Who uses those anymore? Here's one. Perfectly good. Works just fine. It's a Garmin GPS 72. I don't carry this anymore. I don't use it anymore because I don't need to. Because the GPS app on my phone works fine. So why carry it? So I don't. And here is a piece of gear that I used once to test it and never used it again. It's called a Safe Water charcoal filter water filter. And one, it's huge. Two, you got to be Arnold Schwarzenegger to get water to go through this thing. I mean, you got to really squeeze. So I don't use that anymore either. Here's something that I really don't use anymore. One, they're heavy. Two, these are cheapies. These are not military issue. The military style utility bags. The zippers failed on them about 3 times. I got 2 of those. And here's another one that I don't even have the harness straps for this thing anymore. This, I'm sure most of you will recognize this as a military type water bladder bag. But there's some harness straps so you can carry it like a backpack, or you can just hook it onto a MOLLE type bag. And this thing probably weighs a good pound all by itself, but it is built, and this one is a real military one. All right, now to get to some gear here that I don't use anymore. If I can get this gimbal to stay on my lap because I don't want to drop it. This thing, I bought this a long time ago, having trouble with bugs and stuff like that. This is a bug jacket. This thing, like, retains enough heat to heat a room. when you wear this to try to keep bugs off you. Switch to permethrin, never go back. And, of course, my hammock. Now, I have used this just recently, but I won't do it anymore. This thing by itself, the hammock by itself, weighs almost half of what my tent weighs. So that's no more. And my first sleeping pad, it's called a Hiker Hunger. Don't know if anybody's ever heard of it. This is an insulated pad. It is actually quite warm, but it's very, very thin. It's only about an inch, inch and a half thick at the most. And it's a self-inflating type. This thing does weigh as much as my tent. So that's it. And if anybody wants to do this tag, to just have a filler video and have some fun with some home gear you don't use anymore, feel free. So until next time, this is Max with Hike Camp. Bye for now.